Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome to the first ever video of mine on the channel of Ambroid.com. Ambroid.com is a browser game. You can play it if you want to. Right now you can jump along and play Ambroid. Excuse my voice, I'm just trying to kick a cold at the moment, so if I sound a little raspy, that is why. So what I figured I would do today is that I want to make a series on Ambroid. The way that Ambroid works is it's sort of like an alliance game, think like Civilization type game, but it's all text based, okay? If we go here into rankings, we can see that there are 15 people that currently play this game. It's like a 15-player Civilization game, right? Think of it like that, okay? And you've got your money, you've got your land, you've got your people, the amount of population, your income, and the current time of day that it is. So what I figured I would do for you today is go over the basics of what Ambroid is, and we're going to do a little bit of basic strategy as it is the beginning of a new day. I believe it goes off of Greenwich Mean Time, so I believe this is like 5 minutes past midnight in the morning, Greenwich Mean Time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of these tabs, kind of show you what it is, and then we're going to start to play the game. So, we're going to first start off here with HQ. This is where you're going to go at the very beginning of when you log in. So, what I figured, also, if you want to come join, everyone is on the same server, but this just isn't a very large game, so there are only 15 people playing the entire game, okay? And this is a game that will span around 150 days. We'll talk about that. 182 days, sorry. We'll talk about that in just a second. So this is the screen you're going to get when you do log in. It'll tell you your rank, your name, how long it's been since you were last active, things like that. So, and some helpful tips and tricks. So, we're going to talk about DP and AP a little bit later because this is our combat power. This is our military strength, but we'll talk about that when we get over down to military. So, this will tell you just the broad stats around what you are, like your basic information, your global rankings, things that you can just see from the outlook, okay? Nothing particularly interesting except for this right here, the protected, okay? Now, there is protection. Think of it like a shield where no one can attack you and you can't attack anyone else, okay? Now, when you first start the game, you'll be given a 3-day shield. So the season just started yesterday, so now is a great time to hop on Ambroid if you haven't already. Hop on. We've got 2 days and 2 hours left of our protective shield. All right, so that's 3 days from when you joined. So I think I joined 2 hours after the season restarted, and so you can jump on now if you'd like. This is the amount of money you have. Okay, so every hour I get $33,000, and obviously I've accumulated a little bit of money. We're going to talk about what we're going to do with that money in just a moment. Okay, so military statistics here. Again, that's just everything that's up here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to building. This is where you're going to think about this, your land, right? Your development in a way, okay? So as you can see here, we have to balance out our houses, our farms to feed the people, and our factories, hangars, turrets, drone repair facilities to employ the people, okay? So the and there is a little bit of math, just a little bit of math if you want to get very micro-y into this. So for every 1 house and 1 farm, you need 9 of these, right? So for me, I'd like to do 1 house, 1 farm, and 9 hangars, just so that, and what hangars do, and I'll get into this a little later, is they decrease the cost to make airplanes, okay? So what we're going to do real quick is go into guide. It's down over here. And this will tell you a little bit of the basics. So the aim of the game in Ambroid is to become the most powerful. At the end of the season, the #1 most powerful person in the game will be awarded the rank of, like, I don't know, #1 in the game. That's the goal, is to be #1. You must try to get the status of general. Then you know you are something. This is no easy task. To do this, you will need to attack other players, robbing them by taking their land and their money. The ultimate aim of the game is to win this season and win this season in session. Right, okay, so the current season. That's a weird way to write that. And therefore enter the Hall of Fame. The basics. Firstly, you have to bring people to your squad. To do this, you will go to the building page, building layout, right? So this is just talking about getting the farms and the houses. So for every house, you get 100 people. For every farm, you feed 100 people and employ 10 people, okay? Then you get like 9 hangars. 10 plus 90 is 100. So there you go. You've fed, housed, and employed 100 people, okay? And this is all a little bit nitty gritty here. That does get into a little bit of the technical calculations behind this, and we won't go into that too much right now. It's still the first episode of the season here. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Now, this is just a little bit of military stuff. I wouldn't get into that just yet. They've changed a little bit of this since last season, so you will have to keep up with me while I also relearn the changes here. So, essentially, we're going to go over AP and DP right now. So AP is attack points and DP is defense points. So when you are attacked, it will only calculate your defense points. And when you attack, it'll only calculate your AP. Now your CP is your combined points, right? Your CP plus your AP divided by 2. Okay? So yeah, there you go, combat points. High numbers generally indicate a better efficiency in war, but again, that does depend on your AP, mainly. Power points, the average of your AP and DP. Population, net worth, makes sense. Acreage, how much land you have, and tax rate. So you'll see up here my tax rate is at 75%, which is the maximum. It should always be on the maximum, but the higher you get, the more your civilization grows, the lower your tax will get, to help essentially curb players from scaling indefinitely, right? Alliances, we do have alliances here. I have my own alliances. You can build structures in those alliances to make your alliance pretty powerful, such as allowing more people to join, withdrawing money from your bank, member population recovery after a war, and the hourly income increase, okay? And then this one here, the assembly of a custom unit, this is also pretty good as well. So war is a pretty important thing in this game, obviously. Essentially, we'll read this out here. This is your key to success. It's also very complex. First, you'll need to find another player to attack. We'll talk about that in a second. Next, you need to find out their defense points. You can do this. You can use espionage, which we'll talk about in a little bit here under war, to get a rough idea. But attacking with a small force first gives you the exact amount for maximum effect. When sending your squad to attack, you should be ideally able to match their AP with 50% of their DP to ensure a victory, right? So your attack should be worth at least half of their defense, okay? Once your attack is complete, it will tell you the results of the battle. If you lost, look at the DP and send a higher amount of AP next time. If you won, congratulations. Try not to go to war too much in one day, or too many civilians will leave, and it will take longer to get them back. Remember, you cannot attack a user if that village is under protection. If you win a battle, you will lose 5% of your population. If you lose a battle, you will lose 2.5% of your population. A minimum of 10 units must be sent into war. Your squad can be sent to attack once every 30 minutes. A limit of 10 successful attacks per day. The attack limit does not apply if you're a premium account holder. However, that does not mean it is wise to go beyond regular limits. So, we do have premium accounts. However, I believe that this is no longer a thing. I think they have removed this. I don't think there is any benefits for account holders. Also, I've never attacked more than 10 times in a day, so I wouldn't even worry about that. So there is no advantage you can get for paying real money. But we will talk about, the ways that you can exploit loyalty points. But there is really no advantage to... this is a free game, 100% free. So I wouldn't worry about that before some of you guys get turned off by that. A player can be killed if they have under 200 acres at the time of an attack taking place, where a random chance of sudden death can occur. A player can be instantly killed when attacked if their land amount has fallen below 100 acres. Okay, so for example, right now I am at 400 acres or 500 acres, so I'm not really at any risk of being killed. I'm also under protection. So when you start the game, you'll be given a 3-day protection period. That's what we're just talking about now. When you rank up, will be given a 12-hour protection period if you haven't had protection for 5 days. And when you rank down, you will be given protection for 12 hours if you haven't had it for 5 days. So there's a 5-day cooldown period. However, if your status changes and you rank down while under protection, you will lose that protection and a 5-day waiting timer is reapplied. There is another thing here, surrender. When you surrender your squad, people will not be very happy and you'll lose 50% of your population. At the very least, though, 10% of the population will stay. You enter the standard 3-day period of protection as above. You will not lose any money or units when you surrender, but you will lose 10% of your current combat points. It will be difficult to build back up, so you may want to consider it as a last resort or a tactical maneuver. And it is only available for every 14 days. Okay, so this is like a late game strategy if you really want to like get out of a really tricky situation and you need 3 days of protection, right? Let's just say a whole squad is ganging up on you and you want to either D-rank or rank up really quickly, and you need 3 days to gather the money to do that. So here are the ranks, by the way. Private is determined by your PP acres, and this is the minimum tax rate. So as you see here, the general has a minimum tax rate of 30%, right? So you're always going to be more profitable, but if you go over either 500 power points or 2,500 acres, you will immediately rank up to captain. So that's how it's determined, right? So as you can see, 500, well, it should be 501, 2,501 acres to 5,000 acres, you go to 5,001, boom, you're in major. Okay. Likewise, if you go to 5,001 power points, you're in major. Okay. You go to 50,001 power points, you're in colonel or lieutenant colonel. Colonel, major general, lieutenant general, and then general. Okay. Abandoned are people who haven't played in over 20 days. Easy. Alright, this is just a little bit about combat points. Combat points are essentially one of the ways that the game tracks who's going to win the season. It's not something you should worry about right now, mainly more towards the end, but if you log in once every day, you get 1,000 for free, so huzzah, okay? This is what the colours mean. So there are a couple red players in the rankings, so if you were wondering what that is, that just means they've donated money. Alright, and when you rank up, captains will get, you get certain benefits here. So for example, B-52s, B-2s, ICBM missile launchers, submarines, and these are just things that you can use to attack other people, right? Cool, and then season restart. So now with that being on, that's pretty much the basics of the game. You've learnt the entire game already in 12 minutes, which is pretty cool. So let's go down here to war. I'll show you how we go to war. So as you can see, I'm protected. If I want to go to war, I have to remove protection. But I can have a look here and I can espionage a player who does not have protection. For example, stuck in a duck. This will be a character we're going to talk about a lot later when we go into our alliances phase, because this is just the introduction. This video will be the introduction. From here on out, we're going to talk some serious strategy. Okay, so stuck in a duck is my friend. I know the guy. He's a good guy. We have been rivals in this game for about 1.5 years. Okay, so he was my rival last game, and he will be my rival again this game. We can get a rough estimation of his estimated income. It is not exact, but it is roughly correct. Okay, so it might be 24, might be 22,000 an hour, but it's relatively correct. And you can see here, if I did want to attack him, I could attack him with my Raptors and my Havocs, which I can recruit from my military. Okay, this is what I can recruit. This is how much it will cost. And this is its DP and its AP that it will give you. Whoa. Okay, so there we go. So, as you can see, the tanks and stuff, they don't particularly give much DP or AP, and they still cost quite a bit of money. So for that reason, I'm investing only into my, the hangars, okay? Because it's better to invest into aircraft than it is into tanks, because the tanks are just, well, pretty garbage. Alright, let's have a look at recruitment here. Well, there are 3, or actually 4 now. Oh, I didn't know that. There are 4 alliances at the moment. I need to add a flag, and obviously the grid needs 2 Oathkeepers and Dumb Potato. Okay, so there are 4 alliances that are open at the moment. Let's take a quick gander at messages. So these are my messages. I'm not going to show you those too much because I don't want you guys to get a hint as to what's going on. But these are private messages between me and other players. Okay, conference is a general chat. Okay, so you can see here this was the rankings from last season, and you know, you can talk to everybody here. Okay, there is no one that you can't talk to. Right, under discussion, this is with your alliance. Forms, this is some tips for new people. If you want some more help, I would recommend you go in there. Squad news, this is just things, so if you're attacked or if you things like that, this will happen. 16 hours ago I created Alliance 3, we'll talk about that just in a second. Alliance news, same thing. If something happens in your alliance, at the moment I'm the only person in my alliance, so it's going to look the same as squad news. Alliance assets, here we go. You can have a look at my bank vault. I'm very rich. And you can see the structures that we can build here. Okay, now we're going to talk about these a little bit later. Now each one of these costs $50 million. So as you can see, I'm nowhere close. So this is definitely something we're going to talk about in maybe 3, 4, 5 episodes time. But it's something that I want to do, at least consider right now. Alliance, you can see here, this is our alliance. You can see, click on alliance stats and you can have a look at that. Okay, this is going to be how many members we have, the founder, the leader, etc. Now, you might be like, this is a really boring game. It gets incredibly interesting and political when you've had people that are playing for a month, 2 months at a time. Okay, so this is definitely a let it cook type game, okay? Let's grab a sip of my drink. Let's go to politics. Okay, so as you can see, my one is the Revengers, because we're getting revenge for last season when I died. My ticker is Shao. My name is Shao Shad, obviously. Bypass recruitment. Ooh. Well, I got to change that now because it's leaked. The password. The password is not that anymore. Just leaked my freaking password. The co-leader. Message to alliance. You can write a message to your alliance. Ally alliance number. Enemy alliance number. You can choose a logo, which I need to do. Again, this season just started a day ago, so I haven't particularly cooked. So we're going to submit that real quick so that no one else can go through the password. Let's just do that. Cool. Okay. I like it. Now let's go to rankings. So we talked about the screen a little bit earlier. This is the status. So this is what rank you are. At the moment, I am a private. I'm the top private. And we've got captains as well, with Sonic being the #1 captain at the moment. You're gonna learn a lot about these names as you watch this series. Some of these names are going to become really important, and some of them are going to be a little bit less so. Especially the ones I'm highlighting. A couple of these names you might get really attached to. There will be a lot of lore about them. So we're going to figure that out as we go throughout this season. Okay, missions. This is something where I'm actually going to do something. Now, this is like sort of one of those log in once a day type games. So I wouldn't worry about having it, you don't have to constantly be playing this. But every day at 0:00:00, so like midnight Greenwich Mean Time, your missions and your stats will refresh. Every hour, obviously your income will tick up and your population will tick up if you're below 100%. But every day you will get this free land or free cash. Now, it's almost always advisable to go for the free land. So what we're going to do, click that button. And our acreage has gone up to 650. We're getting 166. That's pretty cool. Okay. We can also purchase a parade here, which will immediately make your units ready for war. So when you go out to war and you use your units, they're on cooldown and they have to it takes about 10 hours or so for them to all get back up to strength. But you can use a parade to immediately get that back up to strength. Alright, so now, do we have anything else I want to show you? Yes. Adverse position. If someone has free land, so right now, what was I going to say? Right here, if we go to buildings, I have 167 acres of vacant land to build on. Okay, so obviously that's not so good. So someone could adverse me, but I'm protected, so that's not a big problem. So you always want to make sure this is filled up. You've got you're spending this money to build on the land. Now I'm going to do that in just a second, but I did want to go to loyalty store. Okay. Now, this is the only kind of pay-to-play aspect of the game, and it's not even pay-to-play. If someone decides to join the game with your invite code, you will gain 10 points, okay? And you can use those 10 points to essentially get 1,000 land, or like, in this case, $1.5 million, which is actually not a lot. So it's not even that big of a problem, right? You might think, oh, $1 million, so it's not that big. we will scale to $1 million very, very quickly. Okay, this is nothing you need to worry about. Support. That's if you want to talk, if you want to, you know, report something. And the guide here, back to the guide. Okay, so now that you guys all should have a basic understanding of the game, we're going to go do what we need to do today. So the calculation, if you remember, was 167 divided by 11 is 15. So we're going to chuck in 15 there. Times that by 9 is 136. Boom. And now we've done that. We've got 100% employment. And we are looking pretty sweet. Now our income has gone from 33,000 to 38,000. There we go. That's scaling for you. Now, it says 0 explorable land, but that's just a lie, isn't it? Do we have the most land in the game? I think we might right now. I think we might have the most land in the game. So we've got a rankings here. Now you might be like, oh, Sonic's so good. Let's have a look here. He's got 626 acres, so it's not a hell of a lot. Okay, and so it's nothing to be too concerned about. You can see people's achievements and stuff like that. Stuck in a duck. He's a formidable opponent. He is a formidable opponent. I will give him that. Attack him. Alright, now what I wanted to check out as well is that we've had a new alliance be formed in the past couple of days. So we've got Sonic and Inouye Asia are in the same alliance again. And Dumb Potato is stuck in a Ducks alliance. He's number 1. He always likes to get the first alliance. And the Grid is Ephero's alliance. And this is obviously mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to text Inouye Asia and go, I'm back, bitches. Shell Alliance 3. Shell be there you go. I like that. Cool. Okay, this is stuck on a duck. Giving me a little bit of crap earlier. So I sent a message to Inouye Asia. And I think that's all I really needed to do today. So I'll show you my military at the moment. As you can see, I've got 102 Havocs. You start off with 149 Raptors. And what that's doing is... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. Thank God I muted the mic in time. What you're going to see here is that I'm at 500, maximum of 500. If I got one of anything here, even one of those little T80s, it would push me over into captain rank. Captain rank. Okay, and that's not the greatest for me, because I want to be down here fighting alongside these little privates, okay? I'm okay with being down here. It's not going to change anything for me right now if I go up to captain. My tax rate will be the same, and I'm still going to play out the next 2 days of my protection, okay? I have no plans on attacking anyone soon, but I'm going to reevaluate things and my net worth and everything like that when it's closer to the protection running out. So I think we're okay with this. We don't have to be number 1 right now. We've got 182 days to be number 1. I'm quite okay chilling down here at number 6. Decap is the host of the game. He's the admin. He's also a bit of a dick, so I'm going to try and take him out this season. Don't tell him. So that should be it. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If nothing else, you've learned a little bit about this new game. Come try it out. It's weirdly addicting. Get a couple of your friends on. Start an alliance. Okay? And try and take us all out. Right? If you would like to join, I would recommend using this invitation code here. I will link it in the description below. that would be much appreciated. That would be much appreciated. I would appreciate that if you have learned this game from me. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And without further ado, take care. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.